Ayo Fayose has recently made headlines with his assertion that comparing the administrations of former President Muhammadu Buhari and the current President Bola Tinubu is unfair. In a recent interview, Fayose stated that each administration has its own unique challenges and circumstances, making direct comparisons unfair. This comment has ignited a flurry of reactions from people, with many questioning the validity of such comparisons in the context of Nigeria's ever-evolving political and economic challenges. On the other hand, the Labour Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, has been vocal about the challenges facing Nigeria under the current administration. Obi has criticized the Tinubu-led government for lacking direction and focus on creating a better life for its people. In a recent interview, Obi also pointed out that while the removal of fuel subsidies was a necessary step, in his words, "I would have managed the aftermath more efficiently if I were president." He emphasized the need for a more focused and directed approach to governance, highlighting the importance of addressing the country's economic and social challenges. These comments come at a time when Nigeria is grappling with various economic and social challenges, including inflation, unemployment, and insecurity. And according to recent economy indicators, Nigeria's inflation rate stands at 18.17%. That's from the source is the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, NBS, while unemployment rate continues to rise. The subsidy removal in particular has been a contentious issue, with many Nigerians feeling the pinch of increased fuel prices maybe fluctuating, maybe that's the right word to use. A recent survey of the NOI polls found that 70% of Nigerians actually believe that the subsidy removal has had a negative impact on their livelihoods, thereby making survival a more tough decision. Today on People's Voice, we are exploring these perspectives in depth, examining the implications of Fayose's comparison and Obi's criticism for Nigeria's political landscape. We would also discuss potential solutions to the challenges facing the country and what many mean, or what this mean for the future of the Nigerian democracy, while considering the place of the citizens, the Nigerian people, that's you and I. This conversation centers around the recent interviews of Ayo Fayose and Peter Obi, and of course the data from NBS and the NOI polls. On the part of Ayo Fayose, he said that each administration has its own peculiarities and unique challenges and circumstances, making direct comparison unfair. How balanced is this statement at a time like this? Is this about having some sort of soft spot for the administration at the moment? What exactly has made Fayose make these decisions? These are questions that need to be answered. And on the part of Peter Obi, during the same interview, while the removal of fuel subsidies was a necessary step, he said that he would have managed the aftermath more efficiently if he were president. Sadly, we can only hope that the day comes where Peter Obi becomes president and we see what would have been done or how better the country would be at the time. But let's talk about the economic data. There's the part of inflation rate, which is 18.17% according to the National Bureau of Statistics. And from the same source, we have unemployment rates rising, underemployment, and that's one major problem because a lot of people tend to take whatever offer is given to them, understanding what the situation in the country is. And for public opinion, which is the general population, the masses, the everyday Nigerians like you and I, it's been reported that 70% of us believe that the subsidy removal has had a negative impact on livelihood. And I don't think that's something that should be swept under the carpet or something that should be taken lightly. But to join the conversation today, we'd like you to please call in or text us using the number 090-447-32605 or follow us on social media at VOPTV Live. You can tweet us using the hashtag People's Voice on VOPTV, and on YouTube we have Voice of the People Television. Kindly hit the subscribe button and let's make our voices heard and shape the narratives that affects every one of us. It's time to go on a quick break and come back stronger as we dissect these issues and more on People's Voice. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the People's Voice. Let's dive back into our discussion on Ayo Fayoshe's statement that comparing the administrations of former President Muhammadu Buhari and the current President Bola Tinubu is unfair. Given Fayoshe's political background, it's no surprise that he's making this comparison. As a two-time winner against incumbents in Ekiti State, Fayoshe has shown he's not afraid to challenge the status quo. But where does he stand at this time is another question. His comments likely stem from his experience in Nigeria's politics, where he has navigated various challenges and administration. But let's talk about comparing administrations, that's the Buhari administration versus Tinubu. Let's examine the realities of both administrations. Buhari's administration during his tenure faced significant challenges, including Boko Haram's insurgency, economic struggles, which was visible, was the reality of many people, especially business owners. His administration implemented various policies such as the Treasury single account and the subsidy removal aimed at improving governance and reducing corruption. On his part, the Tinubu's administration's economic agenda has been centered around securing the nation's welfare as outlined in Section 14, subsection 2B of the Nigerian Constitution. However, his administration has also faced criticism for his handling of economic issues, including inflation and employment in the country. Let's talk about peculiarities and challenges. Yes, different governments indeed have unique challenges. For instance, for an economic context, Buhari's administration dealt with a global economic downturn, while Tinubu's administration faces challenges like rising inflation and unemployment, which opposition have said is self-inflicted. But on security issues too, both administrations have had to contend with security threats. Both the nature and scope of these threats are varied. And with all of this happening within a space of 10 years, one would say, yes, government is a continuum, but there's this specific ownership that should come from being under the same party. And yes, for Fayoshe's comments highlight, according to some viewers, highlight the complexities of comparing administrations. Each government's performance is shaped by various factors, including global events, economic conditions, and security challenges. And by acknowledging these differences, we can understand the strengths and weaknesses of each administration. And just so we can have a clear understanding of our reality, I would not be doing this alone. Power Okumbo, a public affairs analyst, political analyst, and commentator, and the Secretary General of Edo Civil Society Organization. Good afternoon, Comrade Okumbo.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers, listeners. Thank you.
All right.
Glad to be with you in this meeting.
Yeah.
See it as administrative issue. I'm going to see it as a Nigeria issue because it's common. For God's sake, we have experienced similar issues. You know.
Hello, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. What he said is not new to us. Yes, what we are facing currently in Nigeria has been on for the past 8 years before now. You know, we have had security issues in the time of Buhari. We have had economic issues in the time of Buhari, and so it has continued now. It's so unfortunate to say, but that is the truth. Nigeria is in a state. Yes, ma'am.
President Bola Tinubu, yeah, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good, I can hear you.
President Bola Tinubu, while contesting for the position of the president, has made it clear that he is aware of the challenges Nigerians is currently going through, and he is ready for the job. As a matter of fact, he also said that he should not be pitied at any point. So do you think those asking for accountability or demanding for more are not being fair by comparing his administration with the last one?
Is concerned. Yes, when Tinubu was campaigning, that is a song to the ear of Nigerians. We have heard many of them come. I will die for you people. I will make things work. Now, the current administration got it all wrong. When they came in, they have not sat, they have not strategized, they have not planned, and the first thing was to withdraw and said subsidy is gone. There's no arrangement. Plan has not been in place, and before you know, the fuel increment, so many things begin to crack down, and today Nigeria is feeling the heat. There
Exactly.
was no arrangement. It was a swearing in, he decree, and he said it. So what we expected as citizens is that the government would have come in, sat, look critically to the issues, and find a soft landing. If they
Okay.
are going to remove subsidy, it would have been that some measures has been put in place to help citizens so that they will not feel the issue. But that was not done. That was not done.
All right.
So
Thank you
it's
very
not bad if somebody comes out. It's not bad if somebody comes out to compare or criticize. That is the point. That I would feel that that is what I feel Ayo Fayose was trying to do.
Okay, let's talk about Fayoshe's statement. Yes, having been governor, two-time governor in Ekiti State, we understand how his administration went. After the first tenure, another government came in, he had to go to court and all of that dramas. Do you think that Fayoshe's statement is a reflection of his own political experiences and challenges faced during his tenure as governor of Ekiti State, both the first time and the second time? Or is this a genuine position of a concerned citizen who is giving a clear assessment of this administration?
Okay. Well, if you ask me, uh, because these are political people. These are people whom we know from one party or the other, they have not really done well. I don't want to ascertain Ayo statement whether it's political or is from his own experience as a government. Either ways, what I feel like, that's why I said when I was talking earlier, I said I'm going to respond to Ayo as a citizen of Nigeria, not as a politician or I don't know. We know he's a ex-governor of Ekiti State,
Yes.
but we also know that he's a citizen. And like I said earlier, he, in one way or the other, must have had, a touch of what is happening right now in Nigeria. So what he said, it can be political, it can be part of what he has also experienced or what he also went through as a governor in the state. But what he said plainly is what Nigerians are facing. The truth of the matter is that you cannot come here and compare. None of these governments, whether in from Buhari till now, has done anything well. Nigerians have been complaining. We have records of Nigeria complaint from the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari till now.
So are you saying that Nigeria's problem or the peculiarities of our challenges started with the APC-led government? Do you think that it was about Buhari crumbling the nation, or we've not had a very strong foundation from the beginning of the Fourth Republic in the year 1999?
Okay, I am not a politician, so I don't want to start talking about the issue of APC or PDP.
Okay.
The truth of the matter, I don't know if I could remember right time, since 2007, I have records of what Nigeria has been going through. So it's not peculiar to any party, it is peculiar to Nigeria as a people. Because if it is not Tinubu, if it is not Buhari, maybe we would have had somebody there who would have also complained about, or we will still have difficult times in our country. The only thing I want to say is this: we are waiting when a true patriotic citizen will become the president of this country. Then when Nigeria will begin to sing the songs, I'm glad that this person is the president. As for now, we cannot say. Both Buhari and Tinubu, both those who have their predecessors, whether in APC or in PDP, Nigerians has not have it well since a very long time.
Okay, I understand where you stand in all of this, but Considering Fayoshe's history of criticizing the APC administration, talk about the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, and that's one of the reasons why people are a bit skeptical about him advising that there should be no comparison. Do you believe that his comments are driven by a desire to oppose the current government or a genuine concern for the welfare of Nigerians?
That man is a politician. I cannot take his word as a genuine Nigerian speaking. That's why I'm avoiding this statement. But the truth,
please just say it as
yes,
it is.
the truth.
It's the people's voice, so it's not about politicians. It's about us.
Yes, that is how it is. There are people that will say things and we are going to stand for them and say, yes, this person is speaking. For Ayo is a politician and he's still looking for other ways. And that is the sincere truth.
He has said he's not going to leave his party. Earlier. Even though there's been a wave of defections from the People's Democratic Party to APC, in his interview, he had said that, as a matter of fact, after meeting with the president, he also reiterated that he is not planning to leave the People's Democratic Party, the PDP,
I'm aware of that. Yes.
All Progressives Congress. So if you say that he is a politician, is it just about us not trusting politicians generally, or you think that there is more?
That's the truth, man. Yes, that's the truth. That's the truth. You see, when they are not in position, they will do everything to look like they are standing with the people. He is speaking now like he's feeling the heat that Nigerians are suffering, that Nigerians need better government. That is from his perspective, you know. But the truth of the matter is that the man, if he has the opportunity and become either a governor or minister again, you will see his song will change.
But it's actually asking that we take it easy. Maybe just we put a little bit of hope in the renewed hope agenda. Don't you think that's
of course, that is how he's going to put it ordinarily. That is how he's going to put it. But to me, he's a politician, and Nigerians should shine their eyes. Any of this is just the truth, because he has been a governor in Ekiti State. We know his records. We know. So, but Nigeria is suffering. We know what is happening now in Nigeria. We are not going to take anything from them as far. Are they trying to tell us that they are sorry? No, I don't think so.
In a meeting talking about zoning the presidency to the south, and of course, Wike coming out to talk about the problem, the failures of PDP in 2023 as a function of not listening to the G5. And here is a Fayoshe who is supposed to be a Wike's friend, saying that everybody knows that he has never questioned the leadership of Tinubu. And a Wike who is currently a minister under this Tinubu's administration, calling for the zoning of
that they are using hook, especially the APC now, because to be sincere, Wike don't mean well for any of these parties. Wike is after what he will feed his family with. That is the truth. He does not have any good mind for PDP or for APC. You can imagine, now you have said it all now, why he is in PDP. He has been appointed by President Tinubu, and he is also from there operating in PDP. And it cannot mean well for them. That is the truth.
But critics have said,
what can we say?
People have said that it's not a crime for him to have taken the appointment. As a matter of fact, he said it over and over again that it took the right approval.
Yes, his party has had them. It's me saying it. That's the truth.
No, he did not even hide the fact that he had said it over and over again that he was only going to work
why will he not say he had took approval to some heads of his party? That is not true.
To accept the offer.
Because as a party man, they have so allegiance to work for their party that it is for the benefit of my party. I told you I'm not a politician, but we study all of these things. We know as a civil rights practitioner.
So with all of these things,
for Wike is a think free thinker place. He's not here, he's not there.
With everything happening now, I mean, can we put one or two together to say that there is not something that is hidden anymore, from insecurity to inflation to unemployment? I mean, Nigerians are literally struggling to make ends meet. The value of the currency is even not something that we are hoping it gets better. The government has said that, yes, I mean, putting it side by side, the dollar, it's been fluctuating at a point that it's been stabilized, but the value of the currency is still not where we want it to be, as the purchasing power has gone really, really low. What do you make of President Tinubu's economic reforms?
Well, for me, the president's plan in economical aspect of Nigeria is not well planned. It's not well planned. There is no direction. I told you earlier, the issue of subsidy gave birth to all of the situation we are faced with in Nigeria now, the difficulties. You came in and without any arrangement, without any plan on ground, you have said subsidy is gone. And now look at where we are. Look at the rate dollar is overriding the naira. Eh? So there's nothing to write home about. That is just the truth. This is where we find ourselves. We are struggling to accept it, but it is not. This is not where we are supposed to be. So for the government of Nigeria right now,
the day how to build oppositions. It's not the fault of the government of the day that people choose to defect from their parties, citing examples of crisis within their parties. And sometimes you might really want to say, is the All Progressive Congress all perfect? But just maybe there's a structure that makes things invisible to us. I mean, we are just seeing a party that is working. On your part, how can politicians and citizens work together to address this issue and become active players in the democratic process that leads to the election of leaders?
please come in.
Democracy, citing the cases of the democracy, citing the cases of the defections happening, and that, yes, some analysts have made a case to say that the ruling party cannot help opposition to build their parties. But the situation is there, and we are sort of in a fix. So how can politicians and citizens, priority on citizens, work together to address these issues?
There is no blame to any government. It is the people who don't know themselves. Yes, so I think we still have some few persons today who are actually recorded. But for those who run just because their party is no longer party, if this same party they are switched to fail, tomorrow they will switch.
People's Voice on VOP TV. Stay tuned. Of opposition parties, especially the Labour Party. We're taking this from his recent interview. Peter Obi, Labour Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, has been vocal about his disapproval of Tinubu's administration's handling of key issues in the nation. Specifically, he has criticized the subsidy removal, stating that while he would have removed the same, if he were president, he would have done it differently with measures to cushion the effects of this removal on the Nigerian people. The controversy surrounding subsidy removal centers on its impacts on Nigerians, the everyday Nigerians. Peter Obi argues that the removal was necessary, but Tinubu's approach was wrong. He emphasized the All Progressives Congress has argued that the Tinubu's administration has made significant progress, making it undeniable, and they're saying that Obi's claims are without substance. But let me come back to my guest as we analyze these developments. Comrade, can you hear me? Please unmute your mic if you can hear me. Please unmute your mic if you can hear me, because I can't get any feedback from you. Okay, let's go on a break while we work on that connection. We'll be back in a bit. Yeah, thank you so much for staying with us. Apologies for that glitch. Let me come to you, comrade. Can you hear me now? All right. Were you able
I
to?
can hear you clearly now.
All right. Did you get all of the introduction?
So go ahead. I didn't get it clear earlier before, so you can please come again.
Okay, so before we went on that break, or after that, the first break, I was talking about the position of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president and the criticism of Peter Obi. That's his position on the administration of Tinubu, particularly on subsidy removal. It spoke about economic reform. And he also claimed that Tinubu and the All Progressives Congress is responsible for the crisis faced by opposition parties in Nigeria. Even though he did not exactly say much about our Naira, he has also talked about how he would have done differently with the Nigerian economy. And yes, there's the Naira and economic challenges, yes, and there's also the claims of opposition failure. So I was asking if you got all of this said, well, what that I said earlier. Are you clear on that?
I got it. You know,
Okay, so
for
for the All Progressives Congress, they've
can you
actually
hear me?
responded to him. So let me take the questions now. Let's take a different path forward. If Peter Obi had been at the helm, how would his approach to subsidy removal have differed from President Tinubu's, and what specific policy intervention would he have made to protect the most vulnerable Nigerians?
Okay, you said what about the economic and the issues affecting Nigeria as a people? I am with him. But the aspect is trying to blame this administration for what is happening in their party, that I'm not with him.
Okay,
The
so
people
are
in
you
the
saying
party,
that his assertion that Tinubu's administration is responsible for Labour Party struggle is a case of trying not to take responsibility of their internal crisis, or?
exactly, madam, exactly. You cannot eat your cake and have it. Go and look at it clearly. There are still many people in the Labour Party who are even ready to decamp. There are many of them who because of the rise in fame of Labour Party, they joined the party because they thought they are going somewhere. But unfortunately, it is not as they thought things went. So
The
now
vehicle
they
had
are
a
ready to decamp
breakdown
already
on
and
the
some
road.
exactly.
Yeah, there's one of
That is what
your
happened.
honorable
And that is
members in Edo State who has said that it's
well, that is true.
okay.
There are many of them who came through a Labour Party, they are decamping now. So you can see the kind of politician we have in this country. They couldn't stand and build the party that they came through. What you should know is that initially the party is not their interest. That is what we have discovered. The party is not there. They did not like the party and say, oh, this is the party I will stand with. No. They only came through because the party was able to help them. And now they are looking for a higher ground to fly. So
So
the party can no longer help them again. So
are you
that is the
saying
position
that
now.
they only took advantage of the popularity of the Labour Party,
That is
which
what I
came
said
as a
earlier. Yes,
result of
they saw
Peter
that
Obi being a
they
member?
saw the fame. Yes, yes, they saw the fame. They saw, you know, initially now when the election before the last general election, everybody was clamoring for new government, and because of that, people were supporting the Labour Party because Peter Obi was there, and they felt like, this man would be good for presidency. Oh yeah, so the support was so much, and that was what many of these politicians took advantage of.
But having won
That is just
elections,
the truth.
having won
You said?
elections, I'm talking about, I'm trying
Yeah,
to establish a conversation now. Having won elections
yeah.
on different platforms like the Labour Party, even SDP, YPP, and the likes, do you think that the All Progressives Congress influence or popularity extends so far enough to genuinely intimidate opposition parties like Labour Party? Or is this just a narrative of a convenient scapegoat for internal conflicts and structural issues within the opposition parties?
Are you still talking about the statement of Peter Obi?
Yeah, I'm talking about defections generally. I mean, people are in the House. We have people in the Senate at both the red and green chambers who have won elections on platforms that ordinarily wouldn't have made it. As a matter of fact, we say that this current administration is one that has the most number of varieties when it comes to political parties in the House. So what I'm saying now is, in your opinion, do you think that the All Progressives Congress influence and popularity extends far enough to genuinely destabilize opposition parties like the Labour Party and the likes? Or is this a narrative of a convenient scapegoat for internal conflicts and structural issues within the opposition? And I'm talking about the persons defecting.
Okay, if I may get you correctly, I am trying to hear you because the thing is very low. Now, for all the political party, for instance, whom have won election, your question is if I didn't get that question at all.
The ideology.
I'm sorry.
The ideology behind the defection. Do you think it's about APC's influence, popularity, or power? Do you think it extends so much that it's genuinely destabilizing?
Continually.
Okay.
We have dealt with that statement you made, the influence. And it's what I'm trying to get, because the thing, and it's a bit noisy. I was driving before. I couldn't get to the office before the program. So sorry. But the truth of the matter is that to some extent, the APC influence, because I know how much this administration is doing to get everything they can for the support for 2027 election. And it's open. Nigeria is aware. We are watching. Make sure they have the support that they need to continue. But aside that, we have people who are, I don't want to use some kind of words. We have politicians who are just after their pocket. So just call them now and give them some kind of promises, and they are sure that you can keep to it. They will follow on with you. So it's somehow one way influence, the other way the politicians who are just after what they will eat. Yes, because I'm aware of the effort this administration is putting. I am aware of what they want to get, as in how they want to get the support that they need at the forthcoming election. So that is 50-50 influence and the people at this party who don't actually know.
Economy. Do you think that Peter Obi would have been able to do something significant enough if he were?
Can be done what he will do. He's the only one I've seen. Every other one is just in the space of when they want to contest. They came in the space of when they want to contest. They came out, they talk, blah, 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 blah. And we know they will not do anything. But for Peter Obi, I am not sure he will not do if he became the president, because we have had enough time with him. He has been talking about one thing and he's sure of what he's saying and he keeps saying it. Not like others who just said something just within the election. They will know, but I was told he denied it. That was the former president.
Are you saying this as an active member of the obedience movement? Are you exonerating Peter Obi from the political gimmicks?
I am not a politician. I don't have any political party card. So I cannot tell you I'm a member. I'm not supporting anyone. And I will not campaign for anybody. The truth of the matter is that the man we have had him, although I am not giving you 100% of, I'm sure what I'm telling you now is based on human person. Because they say out of the abundance of the heart speaketh the mouth.
Right.
Before this election, Peter Obi has been talking. After the election, he is still talking. That is the area I'm looking at it from.
Thank you
but
very
every
much.
other person, even the current president we have, how much time do we hear him speak? Even during the campaign, there are times we actually expected him some areas when we also want him to speak. He did not come. He did not come. So there is no assurance. But the little words he said from afar, even now we did not remember, he did not remember too. That's where we find ourselves.
All right. Thank you very much for your time on the show, comrade. I hope that we have more insightful conversation on national issues again.
Yeah. I'll be glad.
All right.
Thank you.
As we conclude today's edition of The People's Voice on VOP Television, we've had a thought-provoking discussion on the contrasting views of Ayo Fayose and Peter Obi on the administrations of former President Muhammadu Buhari and current President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We've also explored the implications of subsidy removal, economic challenges, and the role of opposition parties in holding the government accountable. And my guest also establishing the fact that the governments right now do not owe any political party the right to help build their parties. As we